So what we're looking at this week is how do you erase something in the image but do it non-destructively. So one of the artists we looked at was Charles Cohen, where we have these figures but they have been erased and replaced with the color white. So let's talk about how to do that in Photoshop non-destructively. I want to start talking about masks. We've been focusing a lot on selections, and that's a way to isolate a part of your image and alter it in any way you want. So we're going to continue to work on selections, but now making our selections into a mask. A mask is something that allows you to make a lot of non-destructive edits, in particular an edit such as an erase. So in this example here, I have done what looks like erased this woman's eyes. I'll turn this mask off. So these were her original eyes, and I've created a layer mask, painted on the mask with the color black, which acts kind of like it's erasing that part of the image, but as you can see it's non-destructive because I can get it back, and then it's showing me what's on the image below. I'll just do another very simple example with this cat here. This is the cat that I brought into the other image to put the eyes under, and this time we'll make a futuristic cat. So I'm going to copy this image and paste it into here, and I do want my chipboard here to be underneath the cat, so I need to change the layer order, but my background is locked, so I'm going to click on the lock to unlock it and then switch that layer order. So now I'll select my cat and go down to the bottom to the mask icon and click on layer mask. So it gives me a layer mask that is automatically filled with white. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paintbrush, but first make sure that my color pickers are on black and white. If they're on some colors, you can just click on the little default black and white swatches right here, and if you have white on the top, you can switch it to black on the top. So first I'm going to paint with black to show you how it removes what's on my first layer and shows me what's underneath. So I'll take my paintbrush and I'm just going to make it larger right now. So as I'm painting, and I want to make sure that I am selected on the layer mask, not the image itself, because that would be painting on my image. It is showing me what is underneath that computer chip. And if I've decided I don't like that, I'll do the nose, for example. Make my brush a little smaller. And the mouse I'm working with is not great, but so it's very bumpy. But here I go. If I decide I don't like that, then I'm just going to switch my color to white, and white erases what's on the mask, which brings back my original image. Okay, so now I get my original image. So all these kind of edits are non-destructive. I could select this layer 1, my computer chip, and choose to move it around. So if I want to see a different part of this computer chip underneath in the eyes of the cat, I can do that. All right, so I have essentially erased the eyes and revealed what's underneath, but it's non-destructive. It's here. All the edits were done on my layer mask. So let's do this on this bear image. So the bear, I've already made a selection. So hopefully you're feeling comfortable with the selection tools. There's a whole variety of them, but remember, often, if you use something like the object select tool or from the options bar here, the select object, it doesn't always do a perfect job. I do still like to, even though this may seem like old-fashioned, but I go back to the edit in quick mask mode. It really helps me see what has been selected. I can see like, oh, there's a little bit extra here of the background I don't want, so just like when I'm with the mask, I could paint that in with black to kind of close up that selection. All right, I will exit quick mask mode, so I just have my selection here. Now with my selection active, I am going to now click on the layer mask, and what it did was it took my selection and it kept that, but it masked out everything else on my layer, which is not exactly what I want. I need to inverse that. So I'm going to click or double click onto my layer mask, and I'm going to click on the button invert. And so that's going to switch what I just have selected. So I selected the bear, but now I've inversed the selection so that it's actually the background that is selected and my bear is the thing that is masked out. So that just was a personal choice. I found it faster to select the bear and then inverse my selection. And now Photoshop is showing me the checkerboard behind, which represents transparency. Just scoot this guy to the side. So the next thing I want to do, if I want to create an image like the Charles Cohen, is I want to put something on a layer underneath. Now, maybe that's another type of image, or maybe it's just a solid color. But I'm going to create a new layer, move that to the layer underneath, and then pick a color, for example. So maybe I'll pick something, maybe I want to have like a bright color. And I'm going to fill it with my keyboard shortcut, Alt Backspace, or that's Option Backspace on a Mac, or you could use the Paint Bucket tool to fill it in. All right. So when I'm looking at your assignments, I will look to see that you have a layer mask. I will disable the layer mask and make sure that nothing here has been edited, and then that's it. All right, so that's how you make a Charles Cohen type of erasure without actually erasing anything.